All right, and so we're live. Well, good morning, parents. As you know, my name's Graham Matthews, and I run the ACE Chem Accelerator program, a program designed to help your child earn an A star in A-level chemistry in less than 16 weeks. So today I thought I'd pop into the group, in the channel, the page, wherever you're watching this video, and answer the question I was asked. I was asked, hey, Graham, why is it that you only tutor online? Ooh, good question. So I thought I'd answer it in this live stream. All right. It's this. It's simple. Look, there's the old way of tutoring, and there's the modern way of tutoring. All right. Now, I'm not knocking the old way of tutoring. I'm not. But the old way. I mean, sometimes tradition is nice. But on the other hand, sometimes the modern alternative is better, right? You get better results. Like, for example, okay, let's say you're with your husband, your wife and girlfriend, partner, all right, and you're on one of these romantic weekend getaways. Right now I'm thinking of Savannah, Georgia, and it's like, oh, it's lovely. You go down to Thanksgiving or Christmas, and guess what? You can have a ride on a horse-drawn cart, like a horse and buggy. I think that's great. You get bundled up, get all dressed up. You have like the festive drinks and everything else, and you and your loved one, you get onto the cart, and you put a blanket over you, and then all of a sudden, you have a ride around Savannah, Georgia, or maybe, you go during the day and they show you the historic sites and everything else of like how it was in the Civil War. And you go, oh, that's great. That's lovely. That was a nice time to have. Yes, this is the old way of being transported from point A to point B. But now think about it, parents. I mean, you wouldn't really want to every day think, well, great, got to get into town. I'm going to get into a horse-drawn cart and buggy and kind of like be, transported into town in the back of a cart being drawn by a horse. I mean, this is obviously pre-Uber days, but you're thinking this is probably like, the very first idea. You're thinking, well, yeah, it's not really convenient. No, of course it isn't. What you're thinking is this. You're thinking, no, what I want to do is I want to get into my car, which is a nice, clean, modern car, comfortable ride, safety tested, air conditioning, put the music on, everything else, have a nice experience, a lot more efficient way of getting from your house into the town or the city center, right? Okay. Now, it's the same thing then with tutoring. Look, the old way of doing it was fine. And the old way of doing it was that the teacher, they used to come around to your house and they'd sit at the dining room table and they'd work with your child for an hour in the evening time during the week, or maybe Saturday morning or on Sunday morning. And this was how it was done, right? In the past, the old way of doing it. Okay. Now, there's a few things that, well, it doesn't do rather well. Number one is you're thinking, as a parent, you were limited to the pool of tutors that you could work with, because obviously the teacher had to be in the same geographical area as you were, because they're going to travel to your house. So the question is then, what happens if you lived in a more rural part of the country and you didn't have access to the pool of teachers that would come to your house and tutor your child? Right. Now you are stuck. You don't have tuition for your child and you know that they need tuition for your child, or you've got no option, you've got no alternative except to pick from a very limited pool of tutors that, teachers that will come to your house and tutor. Right. So not really the best solution for your child to get the result that you want. All right. So number one, geographical constraints. Number two, just totally inconvenient. I mean, think, you're a working mom, you're a working dad, and yeah, the teacher's coming over to the house. Oh, great. Well, this now means that you've got at least, make sure the dining room is, clean and tidy, like vacuum it, dust, polish. Got to make them a cup of tea when they come out. All right. Got to find cash to go pay them and everything else. You're thinking, yeah, right. Again, not really convenient for you after you've been at work all day, to have to do this, is it? Right. But it was the way that it was done. All right. And then the third thing that was wrong with it is this. It's just a scheduling nightmare. I mean, what you have to do is because you have a limited supply of teachers you can pick from, and after you've got the dining room all nice and clean and everything else, is that now you've got to pick a time that's convenient for you and the tutor. And maybe, it doesn't work for your child on that day. You're thinking, oh, great. So now what am I going to do? Now you're kind of like stuck, aren't you? Because you have limited options. You have limited choices. Like you don't have a choice. It's the dilemma. You either go with this teacher that's going to arrive at this time on this day, or you haven't solved the problem for your child. You haven't got the solution that you need. All right. So what was the alternative with the old way of doing it? Well, I guess you could make the trip into town on Saturday morning, and you could go to one of those box franchise tutoring centers. You know the ones I mean, right? The ones where, well, you see them during the week, during the day, they're just empty. Like, the chairs are empty, but then on the weekend or in the evening, yeah, like the students start to trickle in. And of course, well, your child, maybe, because they're teenagers, maybe you're thinking they don't want to be seen getting tutoring on a Saturday, right. And so bottom line is, what you did as a parent was this one. Oh, yeah. You had, some time that you could possibly, I'll just drop them off on a Saturday morning and then yeah, I'll just get a cup of coffee. I'll wait in the lobby, or I'll sit in the car, make those phone calls. I haven't spoken to this friend, this relative for a while. I'll do that one. Or, well, I'll answer some emails. I got to surf the internet. I was going to shop on Amazon and hopefully get something. All right. Or you know what? I'll have a walk around the mall. Health-wise, it's good to walk around the mall. I'll look at the shops, see if there's anything going that I want. Yeah, right. It's called you're killing time. You're killing time for an hour. So you got to drive your child to the tutoring center, and then you got to wait for them to have the tuition, and then you got to come back. And really, when you think about it, what are you paying for? You are paying, right? This is a problem with the old school way of doing it. If you take your child to a franchise tuition center, you're paying for the franchise fees. I mean, think they got to pay rent, they got to pay their employees, they got to pay the franchise fees, and who's paying it? You are. Because what they do is that they get you into the tutoring center and they say, right, oh, well, you know what? We've got a small group going, where it's going to be like, 4 students or say 3 students sitting around a table with a teacher, and he or she's going to do some pre-recorded curricula with your child to get them up to speed. Or I guess maybe if you pay extra, you could get like the one-on-one service. All right. Now, this then is the old way of doing it. How I do it is I use the modern method of tutoring. All right. It's online. Why? Well, think about it. Number one, it totally eliminates the geographical constraints. So when I'm talking to a parent and a child on a success call, all right, guess what? It doesn't matter where they are in the country. It doesn't matter where they are in the world. We've got students from Dubai. All right. Thing is that they can enroll in my AceChem Accelerator program, and they get to pick. So number one, they can pick the tutor that they want to work with. You can't do that if you're with, the old way of doing it. Number one. So number one, they can they can pick a tutor and they can click with the tutor and make sure that it works for them. Number one. Number two, the parents happy because they don't have to clean the dining room and vacuum and everything else. No. And then it's more convenient because it fits into their schedule. And of course, it's a better investment of money because they're not paying for franchise fees. Okay, because the problem with the franchise is that because they've got to pay the franchise fees, it's this: the teachers that work at the franchise centers, they don't make that much money. Why? Because the person who owns the franchise can't afford to pay them. All right, and so the modern way of doing it is online, and then you're thinking you get to pick the best tutor you want, the schedule fits for you, and it's more convenient for everybody else, and it's a better investment of time. Now, something else, this is the other advantage, is this one, is that the old way of doing it, the best that the tutor could hope for is to get your child up to speed, like, possibly the predicted grade in A-level chemistry, because they don't have the resources and they don't have a system in place that allows your child to catch up to speed and then work ahead. So the best that tutor can do that comes around to your house is this. They can get your child up to the grade that they should have got, like their predicted grade. Now, if your child wants an A-star in A-level chemistry, how are they supposed to get the A-star? How are they supposed to work ahead? Exactly. They can't, because the tutor doesn't have the resources that they need in order to do that. All right. Whereas the modern way of doing it, which is what I base my company on, is that there's three things that we do. Number one, when your child enrolls in the ACE Chem Accelerator program, all right, they're placed in a very small group, a cohort of like-minded students, which means that they're going to pick up the best behaviors and the best strategies from the other students. Why? Because they're all in there. They're all determined to get the A-star in A-level chemistry. You're not going to get that when a tutor comes around to your house, works one-on-one. This way, everybody supports everybody else inside the group. And there's a saying, the rising tide lifts all boats. Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? Everybody in the group is like helping each other get higher and higher grades and making sure that the best behaviors and the best strategies rub off on each other, right? So number one, it's the environment. Number two, of course, it's the course content. Now, the advantage that we have is that we have pre-recorded curriculum that your child can watch before they turn up to their weekly lessons, which means they get more value out of their lessons. All right. And of course, when they come into the help session, again, they get more value because they've seen the material once, they can review it, they can work ahead if they want, they get more value out of the lessons. And so it's a better quality investment for you as a parent. All right. So number one, environment. Number two, content. And of course, number three would have to be strategies. Now, again, think about it. How is a tutor that comes around to your house on a weekday, or if you go down to franchise center the weekend, how are they supposed to teach your child the techniques, the skills, and the strategies that they need in order to become the A-star A-level chemistry student that they have to be if they really want that A-star in A-level chemistry? Now, because the way that we've structured the program, all right, they can also learn how to do this and quickly transform themselves into the student they need to be. All right. So this is the reason why I only work online. This is the reason why I tutor online. It's why my company is an online company. We work online, is because it's the modern way of doing it. All right. Like I said, don't know about you, I'd rather take an Uber, for example, in an air-conditioned car with a comfortable ride, which is crash tested and everything else if I want to get from point A to point B, rather than take the old horse and buggy approach. Okay. So anyway, if you're the parent of a year 12 child who wants to get an A in A-level chemistry in the UCAS prediction exam, so they can be predicted an A star, or if you're the parent of a year 13 child who wants to get an A star in A-level chemistry, so they can go on to the chosen medical, dental, and veterinary programs at the university of choice, well, then reach out to me. You know, depending on where you're watching this video, this live stream, all right, there's a comment box below, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. All right. And I'll contact you, or my assistant will contact you, and I'll sit down with you on a call, you and your child, and I'll map out for you a game plan that shows you how your child can easily earn an A star in A-level chemistry in less than 16 weeks. All right. So anyway, hope I answered the question of why do I teach online? All right. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.